Welcome back to the final part of Ace Combat 3 Electrosphere.
Welcome back to the final part?
Yeah, welcome to the final part. How about that?
Yeah,
you
this
fucking
is
semantic whore?
this is actually the second time that the viewers have seen this video.
Anyway, ignore the peanut gallery.
No, you know, that reminds me, when I accidentally... Cynthia, can you hear me? It's me, Simon from Neucom. If you intend to stop this monster, respond. I'll cooperate with you.
Why now?
Because I feel responsible for this. Take it down quickly. Stop Night Raven. Right, so this reminds me in the Zelda Majora's Mask commentary when I accidentally had us record, I think it was part 34 twice because it was like the last part of one recording session and I forgot that we did it, so it ended up being the first part of the next recording session, and I ended up uploading them both as 34 alpha and 34 beta.
Oh, I love that. That's like
That's
Surprise of Haruhi Suzumiya timeline.
That's what I was doing. That's exactly what it shows, that specific phrasing.
It's so quick.
This time on Smash Team Games, Carrie gets the joke.
Rise
It's
of
getting power to maneuver from the
never
fuck.
comes.
If you
Did just
destroy
say
the
rise up in
generator,
response?
the Raven's wings will be clipped.
Roger that.
Do it quickly. It'll run away again.
Okay, so this mission.
Yeah, if only you had
this
normal ass
target
missiles.
update- Yes, if I had normal missiles, this would go significantly better. In this section, Reyna is untargetable, and Ace Combat did the thing again where they intentionally bump the stats of the Night Raven. The Night Raven is super fast, super maneuverable, and again, you have to worry because her laser is super accurate. In my first attempt at this, in destroying only under half of these Aeon generators, I got shot down. I took 100% damage. I actually took 90% damage and decided to just slam my plane into the ground to end it.
Oh, I think I forgot to cut that out, actually.
Oh.
That's base.
You get to see that.
Oh, yeah, no, you get... Yeah, I think... Yeah, you'll get to see this attempt. So as you can see here, I go with the approach because you can't target the Aeon generators head on because they all have pillars surrounding their cores. So in my attempt here, you'll see, because again, this is all blind. I haven't played this mission before. So in my attempt here, there it is, getting fucking riddled with this fucking laser. In my attempts here, I attempt to strictly fly at low speeds in an attempt to outmaneuver Reyna. However, Reyna is essentially fucking glued to you. She's super fat, like I said, super fast, super maneuverable. So her whole purpose is to get behind you and just fucking obliterate you with her laser as you try and destroy these Aeon generators. Yeah, it goes bad. It goes very... When I try again, I switch my approach, but even without the missiles, I'd still say this is probably the hardest mission in the game, just because of that. I mean, Reyna is constantly on you, and unless you are full afterburner, you're not outrunning her. Even if you're, pulling, your positive G airframe tricks, you're not outmaneuvering her. It's hard. It's fucking hard. And so after I get to the point where I'm like, okay, this is a bad run, because again, after this, you still have to fight Reyna. And so after this run, I kind of work with a different strategy. But for this one, I'm just trying to stay out of the line of fire and fly like a fucking psychopath to throw off her aiming. But because she's so close behind me, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you're already up to 47 damage.
Yeah, and plus, I go for high-angle top-down attacks because that's how I think the only way that you can destroy them is because when I fired my first missile volley, it didn't do anything because it hit the support pillar, but I didn't know that. I thought you just couldn't target it from the outside. So I just basically get fucking rinsed on this first attempt, and ugh. Ugh. It's hard. All because my wife is under the influence of stupid fucking vision.
So, I didn't want to cut you off because you were in the flow. But there was a point where you said she moves super fast and then said like, but you cut yourself off, so you didn't finish saying fast. So you basically said she's super phallic. Just imagine her just like a penis.
Yeah, the Ouroboros B route, Reina's actually a giant dick. It's pretty terrifying.
Just like the Icelandic Penis Museum.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
dude, that's right. It's a thing.
Oh,
Yeah, they've got
no.
Rasputin's penis.
Yeah. It's got a big war on it.
Relic, but not a Christian version.
Wait, what?
A relic is a piece of a dead saint, like a skull or
Oh, no.
yeah,
Not
or like a piece of Jesus's cross or something like that.
Yeah, see, I'm at 95%
those aren't
right here.
really the pieces, right? Like
I mean, some believe they are. I can't prove otherwise.
You're not gonna make a claim about it.
Did you know that one of the relics is the foreskin of Jesus?
That's fucking based. That's
By the
awesome.
way, it wasn't the crash that killed Gabe. It was the specifically the fact that he came into contact with very blocky textures.
Relics tend to be a more Catholic thing.
Yeah, you know what I love is that Gabe crashed in the video at I think the exact same time that Carrie said Jesus is foreskin. I just like
I couldn't handle it in the past.
That's gotta be something. You know, there's something there.
Oh man, that's great. That's really great.
So I was just like, well, that fucking sucked. So instead, I find one of the Aeon generators early and just kind of hang around.
Fair.
Play differently. However, it still causes struggles.
It's still, I'm still literally having to basically pin down the right trigger on Evan's PlayStation controller. Yeah, 1, 2, kick out at 2, not enough. So this time I changed my approach, and instead of doing high angle attacks, because I realized that I was a fucking idiot and you can just sneak a missile through there and use the guns a bit to destroy the center, I switched from attempting to outmaneuver Reina to just holding right trigger and running away from her at max speed for as long as I can. And that strategy works. So don't let anyone tell you to run away from your problems. Because as long as you run away from your problems, because if you run away from your problems with the intent to come back and eventually kick their ass, then it's different. Your Honor, I rest.
I rest.
I love that.
The Gino may call his witness. I call my wife and children to the stand.
I like how Kanjin plays back the footage. I killed my wife and child. And then he shoots them. They die. And then when it cuts to Gino, he's the one holding the gun, and Kanjin's like, I have exposed him. My wife is
God, I have the big coughs today.
The big cough. You know, originally, Big League Chew was called Big League Cough.
I don't actually believe you.
I don't either. Oh shit, Gabe, it's the Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Gabe, have you tried being correct?
Why?
Ever?
Why?
Yeah.
Why? What's the point?
Hey, Gabe, be
What's the
better at the
point?
game.
Better have the what?
Be better at the game.
Oh, I am. I'm literally running as fast as I can from right now.
You're actually fun.
Whitney, have you ever
I'm the most fun at parties.
shutting the fuck up? Closing your fucking mouth hole for 1.1 quintillion seconds.
Quintillion.
I don't actually know how long that is.
That's longer than I'll be alive for.
Quintillion seconds.
For reference, 1 billion seconds is about 30 years.
Oh!
So just, you know.
Canadian there. It's about 30 years.
Did I say that?
Yeah, about. That's all right.
So just like, you know, a quintillion is, you know, 1 trillion times more than that.
Yeah.
Or right? It's a trillion, right? More?
Yeah.
Trillion times?
Wait.
Trillion times a billion is quintillion. No.
Times? You mean at plus?
No. A trillion plus a billion is 1 trillion, 1 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, my head hurts.
Dude, I'm right, actually.
Yeah.
So
That's
fuck.
right.
I will not. How dare you?
Yes, you will.
I will not go suck a fuck.
Shoot the
You
generator.
see that movie?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. Okay. You know that Avatar joke I made with the steaming thing?
Yes.
Does that mean if a firebender and a
no.
waterbender get together, the firebender's going to blow off some steam?
Gabe, I already made the blow-off steam joke before.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Wow, get sniped.
I made it louder.
Fucking
So
dumbass.
I have a joke. Neon Genesis Evangelion.
And-
Write an Exodus Carry Gellion.
Oh my god! Anyway, I can completely recall the joke in question, and it was all the way back in the Mega Man 7 commentary. So, basically, you got steam, right?
Yeah.
Steam is water, okay?
Correct.
Freeze it.
That was the program.
Freeze it.
Uh-huh.
And then mold it into the shape of a dick, and then suck it.
Okay.
Then you're blowing off steam.
Nice.
Reverse of sublimation.
What's this about sublimation? Oh, right.
What's the reverse of sublimation?
Yeah.
No, that was not a yes or no question.
Deposition.
No, I'm saying yes. You're like, yeah, it is.
No. But Carrie's asking what the term
the reverse of sublimation.
Oh, what the term is?
Yeah, what's
okay,
it?
I didn't hear
maybe
that.
the better way to phrase the question would have been, what's it called? Carrie,
Yes,
the reverse of sublimation is called deposition,
Okay, thank you.
in which gaseous substances condense directly into the solid state, bypassing
Great,
the liquid.
thank you.
And
Jimmy,
then the artificial intelligence that lives in the Electrosphere gets a human body somehow.
Oh, you know, I wanted to mention something.
Yes.
The fucking recommended videos on this video.
Simon.
How to cut serve in RoundNet, which is like spike ball,
I just didn't want to lose an important test subject. All of you, return to Neucom. I've already made preparations. Farewell. Cynthia, I'm waiting at the laboratory.
Google Data Center 360 degrees tour, 20-minute timer with relaxing music, eBay algorithm for your business insights.
Jesus Christ.
What?
I have so many timers. It's just kind of a grab bag.
Can you hear me? Thanks for following me till the end. I'll be following you now.
You're welcome.
So please, choose where we go. We could go back to Neucom or run far away. Oh, she's trying to get it in. Hey, can't you hear me? Yeah, we're going back to Neucom.
Unfortunately for you, Cynthia, I am a silent protagonist. I can't answer your question.
There we are.
This morning, Neucom, General Resource, and UPO agreed to a trilateral ceasefire. In addition, there was an announcement of a temporary partnership to quickly draw out and suppress internal guerrilla movements. The motive for this unprecedented cooperation is believed to be the fact that the conspiracy's leader was a member of General Resource, with several members of the coup coming from Neucom. Yes, yes. Good boy. Good boy.
All right, Evan, lay it on him.
Yep, let's do this. And finally, we meet again.
I'm in.
How was it? You may have already realized this, but you are a program of my creation.
Oh, come on.
So everything you've seen up till now, and through all the possibilities that I programmed into your AI,
Oh my
I've
God.
found my answer.
This kind of makes sense, though.
You have utterly destroyed him through a myriad of different patterns in all possible fluctuations of every reality. All 5 of them. The man who took my girl. In the end, he saved only himself, that abominable man Dijon. Now I've completely erased every program duplicating his thoughts. I've had you show me every possibility. And so from here I shall release you into the real world.
Whoa.
Now forget it all, everything up to now. And prepare yourself to know
Gabe, you didn't know this,
this
did you?
world's truth with your own eyes. In the end, who made this world?
Gabe, you didn't know this, did you?
No, I did.
You did? I thought you didn't do
knew.
this route.
Just because I didn't do the route doesn't mean I didn't know the ending of the
Oh,
game.
you knew the ending. Okay.
So I just want to say, and I think I might have been wrong about this. I'm not sure. I'll hear during final thoughts, of course. But I just want to say that when I saw that cutscene while Gabe was recording, I looked at him and I said, "Carrie's gonna hate this."
That was what I thought I was going to hate about Amori.
All right, so time for final thoughts, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Did you hear the rating of this game going down? I'm kidding. I actually don't hate this. I really don't. I'm not gonna talk about it yet, though.
Yeah, that's
All
because
right,
Whitney
in that
goes
case,
first.
yeah, Whitney,
So-
go ahead.
First of all, what a wild ride. I will say, I'm gonna be honest. The first couple of Ace Combat games, I was like snore. You know, I was like, I don't really give a shit about playing combat. Like, I'll pay attention, I'll watch it, but like, you know, and I probably would never play this game either. But like, game, what's wrong with me? Why can't I talk?
I'll never play this, Gabe.
But like, Jesus, fucking crazy, wild. Wasn't expecting transhumanism. I wasn't expecting, kind of, critique of capitalism. I will say I didn't love that ending right there. Wasn't. So wait, was that like we were a program, but like we were in the real world? Like we weren't like, or no, we weren't. That was like a simulation the whole time.
It was
The
5
entire
different
intercorporate
simulations.
war. Yeah, the entire intercorporate war and all of its paths was a simulation made by Simon.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't love that. In fact, I will say that I didn't like it. I disliked it.
Well, well.
I'm being honest.
No, yeah, you're good.
But A plus on recognizable textures. You can actually make out what the ground is. They did a great job with that one. Combat seemed like it was doing a little bit better. A little bit smoother, a little bit nicer of an experience. I think Gabe made a comment about that too. Obviously, I can't speak to how it actually controlled, but all in all, what did I give the last one? Does anyone remember?
I don't know.
That plus point 8. I'll say 7.8 out of 10. Too much air.
All right,
Right
now
on,
you can
right
go,
on.
Carrie.
Oh gosh, where do I start? I echo a lot of what you just said. So, yeah, this was a lot longer. And hang on, I need to pause this video because the music is still playing. It's distracting me. Okay, this was a lot longer and a lot more intense than I expected based on the previous 2 games. And honestly, I think it was mostly for the better. I thought this was in so many ways, so surprising, so enjoyable. The fact that there was in-depth plot and interesting characters. You guys know me. That's what makes a game for me. I like a game to have a good story and some good characters, and probably because I'm usually watching these, and that makes for a better watching experience than ones that are mostly just focused on the gameplay. Loved the music. The ambient music was fantastic, and I felt like it did such a great job of setting the mood in a sort of non-standard way that really piqued my interest and caught my ear. The visuals were beautiful, I think, compared to the other 2. I mean, of course, compared to video game standards, of course, it could be better. But compared to the last 2, fantastic. I liked the designs of the planes. The Night Raven was gorgeous, if impractical. That twist, though. It was exactly what I thought I was going to hate about Amori when I was right about parts of Amori being a dream. But then the thing about Amori is it fleshed it out so much more and incorporated it into the rest of the story in an extremely satisfying way. This nails you with it and then leaves. And I would have loved to have a little more exploration of that. What are the implications of this? What does this mean for these people? And it almost leaves me with nothing except for there's this one evil guy. Or this one guy who's doing something twisted. Like, okay. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. And then the other gripe I have is I did start to get the different routes mixed together. So I've just decided the UPO route is canon. So there we go. That's what I've decided. But it probably, because it sticks with me the most because it was the longest and had the thickest plot, you know. Mm-hmm. I was prepared to give this a 9.5 out of 10. But because of all the different routes that were sort of muddling together in my head and then that ending, I'm going to knock it down to an 8 out of 10, which, mind you, given my disappointment in the end, I could be a lot harsher on it. But I want to take into account the rest of the game as a whole. I could just forget that ending if I wanted to, and I just because it was the last thing that I heard, I don't want to overly focus on my disappointment in it compared to the enjoyment I had with the rest of the game.
Yeah, so, like I said just now, like, the moment I saw that ending, I said, Carrie's gonna hate this.
Pop out.
And so, with me in, like, the first 2 Ace Combat games, like, I was not into it. Like, I remember there was Big Ship at the end of Ace Combat 1, and no other game did that in this marathon, at least. Ace Combat 2 had Southern text-to-speech man doing the briefings. Ace, like, at the plots to those games basically amounted to, there's a coup. Stop it. And it's like, meanwhile, this game, it goes so in-depth with the whole thing with, like, transhumanism, like, horrors of capitalism.
I didn't even touch on that.
Like,
for sure.
we were, like, Whitney mentioned that already, but,
yeah,
it, like, goes super deep into that. There's, like, a kind of, like, a bit of a... There's a big sense of morality in here, because, like, with the root system, and how, like, looking at this, like, you can really tell that nobody in this story is the good guy. Nobody is the good guy in this story. However, no matter what route you take, Dijon is absolutely the bad guy. Which is good, because he smells bad. And it's like, we also just have actual characters here too, and it's like, I must say, I really liked Rena in particular, and honestly, like, oh my god, Keith, who just fucking goes ballistic at the end during the final stretch, like Rena, Keith, They were pretty good. I found myself liking Eric. Quite a bit. I feel really bad for how much Fiona's thrown through the ringer. Cynthia does not actually know how selfish she is. But, like, you know, you have... Oh, and Park's an asshole. There's just so much going on here with, like, an actual story that, like, I can actually follow. And it's like it puts it in such a step above the first two games. Until you get to that end when you realize that the story could actually just be summed up in 2 words. Fuck Dijon. Anyway, with all that said... Yeah, that kind of did take me out of it. However, I think my favorite route, like, much like Carrie, my favorite route was the Upio route because, like, well, for one thing, I feel like that had the most optimistic ending. And I feel like, I don't know, no matter, like, you spend more time with them just because, like, you start in Upio no matter what route you're in. But I feel like you actually do, like, I feel like Eric and Rena in that route are, like, developed better than most of the other characters on any other route. Like, the Neucom route in particular stands out to me. Because, you know, you're introduced to Cynthia, and then, like, 2 missions later, she's like, bye. You know? And then you have to fight her, and it's like, okay, yeah. Anyway, I also like the graphical improvements, and the UI looked really cool as well. But I don't have much to say about the gameplay because... Oh, wait, no, I do have actually something to say about the gameplay. Because I booted the game up briefly out of sheer curiosity, like, in the middle of the save file without looking anything up on how to play the game, and I realized, oh, I don't actually know how to control this. So that's what I have to say about the gameplay. Anyway, I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Right on. I might yammer a bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Please, how fucking dare you yammer about a game you like?
Because yeah, I like this game. I will start with saying that, you know, Fiona's statement of, you know, man can never become God is pretty, you know, damning of, you know, Simon's
that's
savior
That's a Spy Kids ass line.
It is for a game about flying a plane. Obviously, the story is a bit heavy, but I should also add note that Evan burned this game to discs, okay, and the American game and the American release of this game is completely butchered and doesn't have any of the story elements.
Any of them?
None. It's all cut out. Aside from that, there's, you know, a coup again.
It's all one route too.
Yep, just the UPU route. I should make note that in the Japanese discs, at the bottom, they say Project Nemo Archive Disc. So the very nature of the game is foreshadowed to the player from the moment you open the case. Now, I'll touch on the story a little bit more, but first we'll go over with some of the graphic stuff. Huge graphic upgrade. I mean, the coffin system HUD is outstanding. I love the 360-degree view and the cardinal directions being posted in a ring in your cockpit. Everything is very distinct. Your altimeter, your speedometer, how many missiles you have, how much damage you have, your mini-map. Everything is nice and concise. I think the environments look infinitely better too. I think the plane designs, for whether they're doing things like they did with the Typhoon 2 or the Griff Falcon, where they just, you know, slap a couple things on a pre-existing plane, or completely original designs like the Orsinus or the Delphinus 2 through 3, I think those planes look incredible for being, you know, for being completely original ideas. And, you know, the Night Raven as well, the validity on whether or not they could actually fly, that doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. It literally doesn't matter. And Studio IG did a fantastic job with the animated cutscenes. I mean, they're just all outstanding. You know, even though we saw it literally 4 times, in the routes that wasn't the UPO route, with Reyna leaving the Night Raven, flying over to the Nega float and blowing it up and sinking it. You know, I think it looked pretty good. You know, I thought it looked pretty freaking cool when it blew up, and then all the waves crashed over because it filled into the center, and it felt like, you know, whoa, geez, that's a strong laser. Excuse me. And I think in, you know, the little cutscenes in between the missions made everything, you know, feel a little more organic, and, you know, the messages you'd receive from your comrades being animated too was really nice. I like how it wasn't just like a static image. You know, you had Keith or Reyna or Dijon talking to you through their message.
But none of them said bingo woohoo.
None of them were the Ace Combat. That boy was gassed up. But the game and you know, I think the game does a good job at looking nice. So, you know, there's that. As for the feel, this game introduces realistic physics in G-forces. So, we're all here smart enough to know how G-forces work. In planes and in just aircraft in general, the pilot will always face higher G-forces at higher speeds, just through the laws of physics. And in this game, you feel it. You feel it. You know, when you're taking turns, or if you're pulling, you know, high G dives downward as opposed to pulling up, you feel faster. You feel like you're turning in sharper. You just naturally feel that the plane's weight is benefiting you and how you're controlling it. You're not fighting your aircraft in this game in the sense that, you know, yes, up is up, yes, down is down, but everything feels weightless. I mean, there's you know, me flying the Delphinus 1 versus me flying the Remora is going to be different because of just how the planes are weighted differently and how small one is compared to the other. And there's a bunch of other things that factor into those as well, with the stats and the speed stat and everything like that. But, you know, I think that's cool. And that's something that Taki Iwasaki, who is the director of this game, who would actually, after this, leave and then go on to make oh shit, what do you make after this? Fucking Ace Combat with Dragons. What's it called?
The lunch.
The Lunchables. No, Drakengard? Yeah, that game. Anyway, so he'd go on to make that and include that in his game, and same with the story paths, but that's for when we get there. But yeah, and the planes just control good. And fucking the Dijon and the Reyna fights where, you know, their plane abilities are enhanced and you feel like, okay, this is just fucking cheating. That's like whatever, okay? You figure a way around it eventually. Like with Dijon, stop fighting him up close. Just go all the way out and then just fight him lance back and forth. With Reyna, don't, you know, just kind of take pot shots and pick at her from a medium range and stick to her. But the planes feel good to fly. They feel good. It feels good to be in a plane and to fly it and be like, wow, I am flying a plane. So that's nice. Next to the music, I think the music's pretty fire. A lot of the composers who worked on this game would go on to work on Ridge Racer and future titles as well. 5, 0, 6, 7. They pulled a bunch of composers back for the upcoming 8 game or whatever that next game is going to be.
Assault Horizon?
No. Assault Horizon was done by another fucking jobber. I don't even remember his name. It's dog shit music. But that's not about that ass game. This is about a good game. So and the score was very creepy and weird and ambient and, you know, just made you feel like something was wrong the entire time that you were playing it. Like the very empty sounding music when you were running the false flag operation in the Neucom plane, you know, bombing strategic targets only to find out that you would attack the civilian facility, or, you know, flying into the geo front. You know, you have these fucking closing gates blowing past your canopy as there's just this weird, shrill, hollow sound that just constantly plays, and that makes you feel like, ugh, this sucks. But yeah, so the music is fire. Voice acting I thought was pretty cool, you know. in performances from everyone who they chose. The characters, great. Reyna, my beloved, my wife, my dearest. It sucks. I only get happiness with her 1 out of the 5 routes, but you know what? I'll be damned. I'll take it. Eric, he's kind of an annoying little whiny baby at the start, but he really comes into his own once he realizes that we've been used. We're going to ball the fuck out. Fiona, I feel so bad for the poor girl. The only time she survives is where she ends up as a depressed mess.
Just like Zero.
Dijon, fucking stinky. Fucking bitch. I know he's got a complicated story, and I actually, because I never did the general routes, I never knew of that cutscene where he had just finished, his process of sublimation and then, went over to Yoko and hit the in office. So I never knew about that. I just thought he was kind of an empty-headed fucking idiot. And to be fair, he kind of is. But he's still a good character. He's a good villain because you hate him. And that makes a good villain. And it's not just cheap hate, he killed Reyna. No. Throughout the 5 routes, he gives you plenty of reasons why he's a fucking asshole and you hate him. You just want him dead. I think Keith's a cool guy. He goes fucking sicko mode toward the end there. I think Cynthia's... Not gonna lie, I think Cynthia kind of fucking sucks, but at the same time, I think she's pretty, so she gets a pass.
Jesus Christ.
Nemo doesn't exist. He's you. He's me. He's Carrie. He's everybody.
No, actually, just Carrie.
Just Carrie, yeah. No,
Just me.
no, Nemo is just Carrie. I think Simon is a weirdly complex dude. In the sense that
In a Petersonian.
Don't.
Sorry.
I hate you. Excuse me. Oh my god.
Can't help it. Shit.
I hate it. But the thing is, right? There's kind of this thought I had after the game, and now I use this character to transition to the story. I also think the UPO route is the best, just because it's got it's clear in the sense that you are a good guy, right? Yeah. Okay. Then the mission happens where you shoot down Clark and Fiona. You're a good guy, right? Yeah, I think. And then you continue along. And then you do the Neucom false flag operation where you bomb civilians. You're a good guy, right? I don't know. And then Park reveals to you, after the coup occurs, that you've basically just been pawns the whole time and that you should just join up with Ouroboros since you wouldn't have been doing anything different anyways. You're the good guys, right? You don't know. And that's why you and Eric make that decision that you think is right, which is destroy Ouroboros, kill Park. What happens after that? It's up to interpretation. At least Reyna stole that, right? Neucom sucks because even though Fiona lives, her sister successfully, goes through the sublimation. And although she's not trying to, I don't think, she inadvertently rubs it in her face by saying, hey, sorry, your dream of flying with me died. But you sure as hell helped me through mine. Generals, where fucking Keith dies in the end, and all that's really left is you and a comatose Reyna being discovered by the ground crews is kind of ass to Ouroboros A, where Reyna loses her fucking mind because Simon's fucking around the whole time, and then you enter through the Electrosphere in a really, I don't know, that was a weird experience to play because the whole time that happens in that little section of you through the Electrosphere, your controller is very softly vibrating. So it's just a weird, I don't know, it was a weird sensation. It made me feel like shit. It was just very, I don't know, strange. And then Ouroboros B, where we end up here with Cynthia and Fiona dies, oops, Lamau, and Dijon is acting all crazy because his, sublimated copy is kind of gone on the deep end, where he's like, well, power above all, and Cynthia's like, but I thought you wanted sublimation. And he's like, shut the fuck up with that weak shit. And then after you do that, the secret is revealed that, Nemo was an AI the entire time. And is a weird character because he's dumb. I'm just gonna be frank. He's really fucking dumb. Obviously, the human brain is designed to feel like anxiety and anger, survival stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's whatever. It's cool. But also, that can be a stressor for you if you're constantly mad or constantly anxious about something that's terrible for you. If you saw when, Dijon was going through his process of sublimation, he was with Yoko, who, if we remember the intro, at one point Simon is working and he looks over to see Yoko in that chair, only for her to disappear and his expression turns sour. Part of me feels like that Simon believes that if Yoko is with him rather than Dijon, she would still be alive, right? And so that guilt kind of twisted himself into blaming Dijon because he wrongly believes that if there was a man to have been with her, himself, that she would end up dead, right? We'll call him a narcissist with a savior complex. And the reason why he doesn't blame General Resource is because, he's so fucking deep in his feels about it. He's like, oh, Dijon, it's Dijon. But then he finds out that the copy of Dijon makes it. Dijon's body is dead, sure, and the original Dijon dies. Dijon himself isn't dead. So he spirals, and in his crash, he makes an AI to be able to combat and kill Dijon no matter what scenario he's thrown into, which is where Nemo comes in, which is why Dijon is the villain in every route, and which is why at the end of every route, you have to make sure you save in order to get that secret ending where he reveals, hey, what's up? When he also mentions at the end that he will release Nemo, the simulation of the intercorporate war takes place 5 years before the events of the actual intercorporate war. He's alluding to basically releasing the ghost into the system that will eventually take over one of the UBO planes or be placed to pilot one of the UBO planes. And from there, whatever event happens, Simon already knows Dijon will end up dead. I do think it was just a simulation ending kind of blows. I'm not going to lie. I think there's enough kind of subtle foreshadowing and the reasons, like, why do we never see Nemo? Why does Nemo feel like such a non-entity? Why is Dijon always the bad guy? Why do these stories, mingle so well together? Why do your decisions feel like they matter, but at the same time, they don't? Why do the relationships you have with these people feel so organic, but at the same time, empty? It's because it's not real. And I think that kind of sucks. But at the same time, I think it's great. Before I finish yammering, finally, there's a funny picture that I saw where it's a picture of Ace Combat 1's box art where it says, war bad, planes fun. Ace Combat 2 saying, war still bad, planes fun in third person. And a brief reading of the third entry saying, planes fun, and an analysis of a transhuman warning tale about the dangers of corporatocracy, artificial intelligence, anti-establishmentism, terrorism, and greed set in a post-democracy, technocratic dystopia. A powerful reflection on how AI can be trained to destroy the real world by malicious actors. An effective demonstration about the weaknesses and double-edged nature of international peacekeeping forces. Perfectly fitting for the futuristic aesthetics of the Japanese story in the 90s. Despite the obstacles life presents in front of us, with the help of others and our own perseverance, we can overcome them no matter how small they are. One must choose his own destiny to leave a mark on this world, even if that leads to difficult choices down the line. However, does all of this matter when no matter what you choose, nothing is real? That's the question Ace Combat 3 poses, and that's why I think this game is fantastic. Because no matter if you think it's good, no matter if you think it's bad, it's going to make you think, what would I do if I was in the shoes of Nemo? If I didn't know that I was a robot, would I make these decisions? Would I join Dijon's stinky hoe ass if he invited me the first time? Would I shoot down Clarkson and Fiona in the transport plane that's completely defenseless? So, I think this game is is master, is beautiful. I think this game's excellent. I had so much fun playing it. And then this was done by the Loadword group, right?
Loadword team, yeah.
Loadword team, fantastic translation. They worked so fucking hard on this, and it just came out amazing. So a big ups to them. But I will be giving this game a 8 out of 10. Good game.
All right, that was certainly longer than I expected it to be. Well, oh my god, this part is sitting at 45 minutes so far. All right.
Told you I was going to eat hammer.
And we still have the credits to roll after this. Anyway, if you want to play these games for yourself, I think the most modern way to play them is still on the PS3.
Yeah, there's no like re-releases or anything
on any actually modern consoles. And if you're playing, in the case of Ace Combat 3, it's the English version. So, yeah.
I gotta tell you, I think this game could have pulled off the everything was a simulation if it had substantiated it with some further parts of the game.
Just
maybe
like a
you
Mori.
suspect it
Yeah.
all along.
What?
Maybe like have you like suspect it.
Maybe, or I don't know. It just felt really abrupt. But I did get this weird feeling from the main character, like he wasn't actually a thing.
Yeah, I kind of did. Like, I was kind of thinking that too, and I also, like...
But I still didn't expect that.
Quickly made the observation that even when you side with Dijon, you still fight Dijon.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, it kind of, like... Then, like, that ending kind of made me go, oh, in that regard. Anyway, next time on Smash Team Games, well, I really hope you liked the vibe and, like, complexity of this kind of story, because next time, we're playing Mario.
Yippee!
Woo!
Mario!
To be specific, the next Mario, like, it's time for more marathons. The Mario Marathon is one of them, and, like, we're also having a Sonic Marathon alongside it. But, from the perspective of what we're commentating over next, I guess what to expect, that we're going to be playing Luigi's Mansion for Nintendo GameCube. Until then, this is Smash Team Games, signing off.
Bye.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.